In the midst of the rancour swirling around the banks and interest rates this week, one story that slipped through almost unnoticed was the unambiguously bad building approval figures. While fulminating politicians grabbed the headlines, not much time was spent on a vital part of the economy, the home builders. They've been hammered for the past 6 months, and as Neil Woolrich reports, things are set to get a whole lot worse.
Conventional wisdom has it that Australia is running a two-speed economy, fast and slow. Out in the suburbs, though, home builders are discovering a third gear, reverse. The latest official figures show new home approvals tumbled 6.5% in September and are down by 31% over the past 6 months.
I think there'll definitely be some level of slowdown. It's a matter of exactly in what segment of the market. I think definitely the first homeowners market, or the first sort of home buyers in that market, definitely there's going to be a level of slowdown.
While the statistics show an industry in decline, Claude Salvatore says his business is travelling well at the moment, but he's worried about a chronic shortage of new land for development and the rising cost of building new homes.
Material costs, labour costs and costs overall, in my opinion, are just continuing to increase for reasons of which, seem to be, to some degree, unjustified.
I think, quite frankly, there is just not enough margin to be involved for a home builder. The way that developer charges have operated, the way that input costs have gone, to make it economic for home builders to increase the supply above the current rate. So it's a real policy bind.
And the appetite for new home building is only expected to shrink further, with the Reserve Bank delivering another interest rate rise this month.
It is consistent with building approvals falling in the order of about 35 to 40%. So we're right in the middle now of the fastest period of deceleration or declines in building approvals. But we do think it'll extend for the next few months at least.
We didn't share the confidence that various economists had about the rebound in approvals, and that's explained by our expectations for weak to no house price growth and rising interest rates. Developers are simply not going to produce new housing supply in an environment where returns are declining.
And that means Australians are making do by cramming more people into each house.
The reality is that people who are in a position to form a new household are just not taking up that opportunity to go out and buy a new home. And this is people that are either married, might have children, might be in a de facto relationship. Those sort of drive factors that we tend to look at and say, well, these are the type of people that should be forming a home, but they're not.
Although the construction business is going through a rough patch, there's still estimated to be an undersupply of around 150,000 homes across Australia. But so far there's been no serious policy response at any level of government. Perhaps the first question to address is why Australians are so keen to reinvest in existing homes rather than build new ones.
Well, I think the government definitely has to look at what they can do to assist both the manufacturers in creating and coming up with a lot of newer, more economical means and ways of producing material.
An obvious one is to take off the GST on new construction, for instance. But there are a number of things that I think that are worth considering. Obviously, decentralising government jobs is part of the story. Trying to encourage some job growth out of the city centre is part of the story.
Around the quarter of the cost of a new home or a new house in Sydney is absorbed through government taxes and levies. And one of the problems developers, particularly in New South Wales, face is that the marginal cost of producing a new house in New South Wales is around $550,000, which is actually above its market clearing price.
The Henry Review into taxation also recommended the states get rid of inefficient taxes like stamp duty, which are seen as stopping the flow of people and equipment around the country.
Facilitating mobility, I think, is part of it. Investing in the social and physical infrastructure of some of these towns and regions is important. Otherwise, people just won't commit and won't go to those areas.
But even if such reforms do materialise, home builders are facing up to a new reality as the mining boom Phase 2 continues to crowd out other parts of the economy.
Unfortunately, in the current environment, capital is scarce and the housing is competing with very high returning sectors, and namely the minerals and resources industries.
The boom over in the west has definitely created a lot of opportunity for the building sector, and definitely there's been sort of builders out there or over there from here, and also a lot of the trades. A lot of the trades have gone over west because there's good money to be made.
While the Reserve Bank is targeting the flood of money coming in from the resources boom, it's now engineering a slowdown in the rest of the economy, and builders could well become part of the collateral damage.